Let's talk about the assigned topic. The purpose of the assigned topic discourse is to test the speaker's knowledge of the subject and also the extent of his or her research and the ability to discuss the topic as related to the basic principles of government under our Constitution. Just as you had a scratch tally sheet for the prepared oration, you will also have a scratch tally sheet for the assigned topic. Just as in the prepared oration, there are content areas, 4 categories. There are also speaking skills, 3 categories. And the total points add up to 30 points for the assigned topic. Another suggestion for you as a judge. It is suggested that you use the first 2 or 3 minutes of the contest to rate the contestants' speaking skills. Now this allows the remainder of the time for you to concentrate on the content, both in a prepared oration and the assigned topic. Once you get a good feel for how the contestant is speaking, their speaking style will not change as they go on through the rest of their presentation. Let's talk a bit about the scoring method. In the first column in the content area, it has the 4 content areas that we've discussed. And then in the second column under score, in parentheses, are the maximum point values, so that you know you should not go over that point value. On this example, you see the maximum point value as 4 for originality and knowledge, and underneath it, handwritten, is the judge's evaluation of 2. In the skill and data examples, 4 was the max. This judge rated a 3, and so on down the page. And then in the third column, there's a place for you to put your remarks. And this, again, is on the scratch tally sheet. This gives you the opportunity to be able to write things so that your thinking is shown to you on a piece of paper as you go back to evaluate them in the final scoring. Another suggestion for you. In order to help you remember the individual speakers on the scratch tally sheet, you might want to note something about that speaker, something about the color of clothing, the gender. For example, a girl with a green top, a boy with a blue striped tie. And whenever you go into your judge's room at the end of the contest and you look at your scratch tally sheet and you're transferring scores over, that'll help you remember that particular contestant. A scoring system review. How many scratch tally sheets are there for each contestant? Well, there are 2. You have 1 for the prepared oration and 1 for the assigned topic. How many points can be given for the prepared oration? In the content area, there are 52 points. And in the speaking skills area, there are 18 points for a total of 70 points out of 100 for the prepared oration. On the assigned topic, the total point value are 18 for content areas and 12 for speaking skills, for a total of 30 points on the assigned topic, so that the total score for this contest cannot go over 100 points for each contestant. Here's a good question. What happens if the contestant fails to directly address the assigned topic? This has happened. The students are given the assigned topic 5 minutes before they appear the second time. They are taken to a private room, given that topic. They don't have any research materials with them. They're given a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and they can write notes from their head before they appear for the second time. It has happened where a student has walked in and given the wrong assigned topic. May have made a great speech, but not the correct topic. Well, I want to refer you back to your penalty point of 1 to 10 points for failure to speak on the Constitution. Now, yes, they spoke on the Constitution, but did they speak on the correct topic that was selected for their contest? If the answer is no, I don't see how you could give them a good score for doing that. So this gives you the opportunity to downgrade them 1 to 10 points. Another option you would have would be to downgrade them in all 4 content areas. Obviously, their knowledge on the topic wasn't right, so they should not receive a high score for that. It's very rare that this happens, but if it does happen, we want you as the judge to penalize that student for speaking on the wrong assigned topic. After the last speaker, the judges will return here, and you're going to transfer data from your scratch tally sheets to the official score sheet. And then you will tabulate your data for each contestant, and then our tabulators will review your mathematics, arithmetic, and we will tabulate the results of the contest. Now, this scratch tally sheet is really your note-taking opportunity throughout the contest. You can write all over that paper, you score it as we talked about, there's places for you to make remarks. However, it's not mandatory. Some judges prefer just to take the score sheet and write the scores in. If that is your preference, that is fine, but we recommend that you use the scratch tally sheets. The scoring examples from the scratch tally sheet, again with the top score in parentheses and the judge's score written under that, and you would see how you would have a total score that you have written. You have an opportunity then to transfer any penalty points at the bottom of that scoring sheet. Now, if there are time penalties, you should have been told that in your contest, and then you need to note that on your time card. If you gave penalty points for failure to speak on the Constitution, your penalty points would then be noted on your score sheet, and at that time everything will be added up so that you get your raw score. In this example, then this is on the actual score sheet, contestant 1 had 88 points and contestant 2 had 81 points. Now comes the next part of the scoring, which is very critical. You have to give your record of choice. In other words, who did you see as taking first place, second place, third place, and so on. Your first place should have the highest raw score. Your second place should have the next highest raw score. If that's not the case, we will return your scorecard to you and ask you to fix that so that your highest score reflects your first record of choice on down the line. Then we're going to ask you to be sure you sign your scorecard. This slide shows you an example of your scorecard. That's the exact scorecard that you are holding. When you're finished with your scorecard and you turn it in to our tabulators, please do not leave the room until the moderator advises that your scorecard has been reviewed. The decision of the judge will be your own without the consideration of others. We don't expect you to be in a group and you're going to decide together who wins this contest. Each of you will judge individually, yet together your scores are tabulated and together you will pick a winner, but you will do so individually. Another very important point, we're going to ask you to please refrain from discussing your judging with anyone outside of this room. All of your information is information of the American Legion. We do not want you to discuss this with parents or coaches or students. The contestants have been briefed that if they desire their scores, they will be provided them when the contest is over. They will not be given your scratch tally sheets. These are property of the American Legion. They will not be given your names or your score sheets. Once again, this is property of the American Legion. Thank you for serving as a judge today. As you can see, the contestants who participated are the kind of students that will become leaders in our communities, in our states, and in our nation. And as they assume their leadership role in the future, we want them to have, as a foundation, the principles of the Constitution of the United States of America. And for us in the American Legion, this is our payoff. And we believe that you share that value with us, and this will be your payoff today as well. Thank you for volunteering.